smiling faces, why don't you turn around the person next to you and say, "You look fabulous."
You look fabulous. Always look fabulous.
First of all, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. So my role tonight is to acknowledge, with thanksgiving, those who have gone before us. LGBT people of faith have 3 battles that must be won. The first battle is the internal battle, where we must move past fear, shame, internal condemnation, internalized homophobia that we were never born with, but was given to us through society and through our religious backgrounds that told us that we were not worthy, that we were broken, that something was wrong with us. That's one battle. The other battle, of course, is with our faith connections. And some of us have known how toxic some of those cultures and some of those communities can be. And there is another battle that we've had to face as well, and that is our battle within the LGBT community. Because we've found that we are not always welcome as people of faith. And even from the very first Mardi Gras parade and the very first Pride parade in New York, when gay Christians turned up, they were asked to turn away. And still today, people believe that you can't be gay and a Christian, and you can't be Muslim and a Christian. You can't be Jewish and be
Jewish.
I really screwed up there, didn't I?
Start again.
I'm just going to show you we're listening.
Yeah, it's all good, Anthony.
So I'm going to just run through a very brief history here, just to let you know some of these people that we're acknowledging tonight. And I'm sure that some of you will know some of them, but you will not know all of them. And the first person I'd like to acknowledge is Derek Sherman Bailey, who in 1955 wrote a book. He was an English theologian, and he wrote a book called Homosexuality and the Christian Tradition. And in that book, it was groundbreaking, and what he did essentially was deconstruct all the 6 passages in the Bible that had been assumed to speak of same-sex sex and homosexuality. And he went through the cultural aspects, the historical aspects, and his work was groundbreaking but not acknowledged by everybody. But the Wolfenden Committee, anyone know what the Wolfenden Committee was? That was a committee set up to decriminalise homosexuality in the UK, and they were very influenced by Derek's work. I know there's a documentary coming out called 1946, because 1946 was the first time the word homosexuality was mentioned in an English translation of the Bible. But actually in 1955, and let's say that in 1959, that was challenged, but actually to be challenged before by Sherman Bailey. We have gay royalty with us tonight, Mr. Peter de Waal over here. And his partner Bon, Peter Bonfabloom, we'll refer to him as Bon, as he was affectionately known, was a man of faith. And he went to Morpeth College in 1961 to study to be a priest. But as it was in those days, many gay men had a criminal record because they were arrested for being gay. And Bon was one of those, and when he was challenged by the bishop about that he was arrested, the bishop interviewed him and asked him, well, what do you want? And he said, I want to live with the man I love and be a priest. And this is the man he loved for 50 years. In 1963, the wonderful Quakers, you know the Quakers? They don't quake, they sit. They sit very quietly, very reflectively. They wrote a groundbreaking book called The View of Sex, which was positive towards homosexuality. In 1964, the Anglican Archbishop of Melbourne, Sir Frank Woods, came out in support of decriminalisation of homosexuality. In the mid to late 60s, the Anglicans around Australia were setting up committees and doing reports on homosexuality to determine whether it should be decriminalised. Most of them were positive, except for one. In 1965, in San Francisco, the Council for Religion and the Homosexual was set up by a group of Protestant ministers who got all the gay organisations together who had constantly been fighting with each other, and they got them together and for a fundraiser, and that was raided by the police. This is 4 years before Stonewall. This was going on. Raided by the police, and people were arrested. In 1968, a little lounge room in Los Angeles, the Reverend Troy Perry, a defunct Pentecostal minister, woo! You don't go, woo! Woo! Thank you. A defunct Pentecostal minister, he had his first meeting of the MCC, Metropolitan Community Church. In 1968, the Presbyterian Church of New South Wales called for the decriminalisation of homosexuality. Amazing. In 1970, the Gay Rights Organisation, we have one of the founders here, CAM, was founded, and with Peter's partner Bon. In 1971, Melbourne Anglican Synod called for the decriminalisation of homosexual acts performed in private. Best in private, isn't it? Well, okay. If you're kinky, don't tell me about it. And so, in 1972, the General Conference of the Methodist Church recommended the decriminalisation of homosexual activity as well, behaviour between consenting adults. In 1972, there was a TV program on the ABC called Checkerboard. And once again, our friend here, Peter DeWall, and his partner Bon Saloon, Bon and he were on that show and had the first male gay kiss on Australian television.